When the Galactic Council discovered humanity, they made a catastrophic assumption. Any species that's soft, that fragile, that prone to hugging things must be prey animals. The universe was about to learn otherwise. This is the story of First Contact Protocol Officer Vrix'tal, a four-armed Catharian warrior who thought he understood predators, until he watched a maintenance technician named Marcus Webb wrestle a juvenile Skarrix hunter for fun, then feed it sandwiches. What follows is a comedy of errors, cultural misunderstandings, and one increasingly unhinged alien's attempt to comprehend why humans treat apex predators like oversized puppies. The galaxy had rules about predator hierarchies. Humanity never got the memo, and frankly they wouldn't have cared if they had. The distress beacon pulsed through subspace like a dying heartbeat, and I, Vrix'tal of the Catharian Defense Fleet, responded because that's what predators do. We protect the weak. We maintain order. We certainly don't question our position at the top of the food chain. That was before the humans. The research vessel Celestial Wing hung dead in space, hull breached in 7 places, life support failing, standard pirate raid, except the pirates were Skarrix, which meant nobody survived Skarrix attacks. They didn't take prisoners. They took trophies. Scan shows 3 life signs. My navigator chirped, all 6 of her eyes blinking in confusion. Impossible. Skarrix cleared this ship 4 hours ago. Maybe they're Skarrix, I suggested, checking my plasma rifle, left behind to ambush rescue crews. Negative, Commander. BO signatures read as Terran. I felt my spine ridge flatten in confusion. Terrans. The new species. The ones that petitioned for council membership last cycle with their wide eyes and their soft skin, and their bizarre insistence on making friends with literally everything. Word was they'd tried to domesticate a Vorgan death slug. Tried. Past tense. Because obviously, we docked hard. Override protocols. Screaming. My strike team moved through corridors painted with ion burns and worse things. Skarrix were efficient killers. 200 kilos of scales, claws, and really unfortunate attitudes about personal space. They hunted in packs, communicated through subsonic growls that liquefied organs, and topped the predator index at 9.8 out of 10. Humans ranked 2.1. Prey species with delusions of adequacy. The life signs emanated from the cargo bay. I signaled my team to flanking positions, powered up my rifle, and kicked open the door fully prepared to collect whatever remained of these poor, stupid Terrans. Instead, I found Marcus Webb sitting cross-legged on a supply crate, eating something brown and geometrically improbable, while a juvenile Skarrix the size of a small shuttle sat at his feet making a noise I'd never heard a Skarrix make. It was purring. Oh hey! The human looked up, crumbs on his face, completely unbothered by the 4 plasma rifles aimed at his head. You guys rescue? Sweet. This ship's coffee maker is busted, and I've been rationing for 2 days. Also, do you have any more of these? He held up the brown thing. Cliff found them in the captain's personal stash, but we ate the last one. Cliff. He'd named the Skarrix Cliff. The creature turned its massive head toward us, displaying rows of teeth that could shear through hull plating. Then it sneezed, and a sound came out like rocks in a tumbler. It was wagging its tail. Stand away from the predator, I ordered, targeting sensors locked. We'll neutralize it. Whoa, whoa, whoa! The human jumped up, placing himself between my rifle and the Skarrix. Cliff's cool. He's just a baby. Got separated from his pack when the pirates hit. That baby is a Class 9 predator capable of decapitating you with one swipe. Yeah? Marcus looked back at Cliff, who was now rolling onto his back, exposing his underbelly and making grabby motions with his 4 clawed arms. Huh? Didn't try that with me. My translator must have malfunctioned. Explain how you survived. Well, Marcus scratched his head, leaving a smear of something that might have been blood but was probably jam. Pirates came through, standard smash and grab. Most crew evacuated. But I was down in engineering pulling a double, and by the time I got to the pods they'd launched. Figured I'd hide in the cargo bay, wait it out. And the Skarrix? Oh, Cliff here was hiding too. Guess the adults left him behind in the rush. He jumped out, roared at me. Marcus grinned, so I roared back. Several seconds of silence. You roared back. Louder than him, actually. Then he just sort of flopped over. Marcus demonstrated with a floppy hand gesture. Started making this churning noise. I figured he was hungry. Found some protein bars. Turns out Skarrix love peanut butter. Who knew? Cliff churned louder, nuzzling Marcus's leg with a head that weighed more than the human's entire body. This is unprecedented, my second-in-command whispered. Skarrix, don't bond with prey species. Maybe they don't see us as prey, suggested Marcus, scratching behind Cliff's sensory ridges. The creature's rear legs started thumping against the deck plating, a rhythm that shook the whole bay. Your predator index ranking is 2.1, I said slowly, as if explaining orbital mechanics to a juvenile. You're classified as persistence hunters with minimal offensive capabilities. You have no natural weapons, no armor plating, no venom sacs. Yeah, but we've got pattern recognition and stubbornness. Marcus pulled out another brown square from his pocket. Cliff's eyes, all 6 of them, locked onto it with laser focus. Cliff here? He's not scary. He's lonely and confused and needed someone to alpha up. So I alphaed. You cannot alpha up a Skarrix. That's not, the biology doesn't support. Sure it does. Marcus tossed the brown square. Cliff caught it mid-air, chomping happily. Look, where I'm from, we've got these animals called wolves. Apex predators, right? Thousands of years ago, some human was probably like, hey, that's a good boy, and boom, now we've got golden retrievers. Same principle. That took millennia of selective breeding. Yeah, well, I work fast. Marcus winked, actually winked, while standing next to a creature that had eaten 3 council ambassadors last year. Plus, Cliff's a sweetheart once you establish boundaries and show him you're not scared. Predators respect confidence. My spine ridge was doing things spine ridges weren't designed to do. Command will never believe this. Probably not, Marcus agreed cheerfully. They're gonna want him quarantined, studied, maybe put down because he's dangerous. But here's the thing. He looked up at me, and suddenly his eyes weren't soft at all. They were calculating. Ancient. Predatory. Cliffs, my friend. We've been through some stuff together. So unless you want to see how loud I can really roar, we're taking him with us. The cargo bay fell silent, except for Cliff's contented rumbling. My team exchanged glances, mandibles clicking nervously. The human stood there, all 165 centimeters of him, defending a killing machine with nothing but audacity and a half-eaten protein bar. You're threatening a Catharian strike, Commander, I said carefully. Nope, Marcus smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. I'm establishing parameters. Big difference. You seem reasonable, so I figure we can negotiate. Cliff comes with me. I help you understand why your predator index might need recalibrating, and everybody wins. Or, he shrugged, we can do this the complicated way, and trust me, Commander, humans invented complicated. Cliff chose that moment to flop his entire bulk against Marcus's legs. The human staggered but didn't fall, just leaned into the creature like they were old drinking buddies. Fine, I heard myself say, which was insane. Bring the Skarrix. But he's your responsibility. Obviously, Marcus beamed. Also, I'll need that coffee situation handled ASAP. I get cranky when under-caffeinated. We transported back to the Vigilant Dawn with our very illegal cargo. My crew gave the Skarrix wide berth, weapons ready, instincts screaming. Cliff ignored them completely, padding after Marcus like an oversized shadow that could disembowel everyone present. I filed my report knowing it would cause chaos. First Officer Tanara read it 3 times, her translator cycling through confusion protocols. This human domesticated a Skarrix in 2 days. Allegedly befriended, I corrected. Not domesticated. There's a difference, apparently. Commander, the Council will demand the creature's termination. Probably. And the human will refuse. Definitely. Tanara's feathers ruffled, a sign of deep concern. What do humans do when refused? Good question. I pulled up their file, skimming past the basic biology into the cultural section. My translator struggled with some concepts. Spite. Malicious compliance. Hold my beer and watch this. They escalate creatively, I said finally. Meaning we should probably let him keep the Skarrix. Part 2. 3 days into our return voyage, Marcus had converted Cargo Bay 7 into what he called a playpen. Cliff had his own corner with bedding made from recycled insulation foam, several tons of protein supplements, and a collection of various objects Marcus called toys. Watching a Skarrix play fetch with a cargo container was surreal. See, the trick is mental stimulation, Marcus explained while Cliff bounded after the container, scales gleaming under the bay lights. Predators get bored. Bored predators get destructive. Keep him engaged, and he's happy. This violates approximately 47 safety protocols, I observed. Yeah, but he hasn't eaten anybody, so I'd call it a win. Marcus threw the container again. Cliff pounced, his hunting instincts on full display. Then he trotted back, dropped the container at Marcus's feet, and made that churning purr again. Status report says you've been teaching him commands. Basic stuff. Sit, stay, don't eat the engineering crew. He's a fast learner. Marcus grinned. Smarter than my ex's cat, and that's saying something. A proximity alarm shrieked. Battle stations. My bridge crew erupted into controlled chaos as sensors painted the threat. 4 ships. Skarrix configuration. Closing fast on an intercept course. The hunting pack had found their missing member. Commander, they're hailing, Tanara reported, her voice tight. The view screen flared. A massive Skarrix filled the display, scars crisscrossing her scales, eyes burning with predatory focus. The matriarch, pack leader, Cliff's mother, presumably. Kowamian vessel, she growled, her translator turning subsonic rumbles into words. You hold our youngling, return him, or we take him, and your ship becomes debris. Standard Skarrix diplomacy. I opened my mouth to respond when Marcus's voice cut through the bridge from the cargo bay intercom. Hey Commander, Cliff's mom showed up, right? Cool. Patch me through. That's inadvisable. Patch me through or I'm coming up there. And you really don't want Cliff loose on the bridge. Tanara looked at me. I made a decision that would either save us or doom us. Patch him through. Marcus's face appeared on a split screen beside the matriarch. He was still holding a protein bar. Cliff's massive head pushed into frame, and suddenly the matriarch's aggressive posture shifted. Youngling. Relief flooded her voice. You live. Yo, Mama Cliff. Marcus waved. Yeah, Junior's fine. We've been hanging out. He's awesome, by the way. Super smart. Already learned 3 commands. The matriarch's eyes narrowed, focusing on Marcus. You are prey. Terran. How do you live in proximity to my spawn? Oh, we're buddies. Marcus scratched Cliff's sensory ridge. The youngling churned happily. He roared at me. I roared back louder, and then we bonded over snacks. Pretty standard friendship origin story, where I'm from. Silence stretched across the void. The Skarrix fleet held position, weapons charged but not firing. The matriarch tilted her head, a gesture I recognized from Cliff. You roared, louder? Way louder. Like, impressive lung capacity stuff. Cliff was super into it. Then he showed me his belly and I knew we were cool. Belly display is submission gesture. Yep, which means I'm pack alpha now, technically. Marcus said it so casually. Like he hadn't just claimed dominance over a class 9 predator species. But don't worry, I'm not trying to steal your kid. Just kept him safe until you caught up. Though full disclosure, we're kind of attached now, so visits would be appreciated. The matriarch made a sound my translator couldn't process. It might have been laughter. It might have been a threat assessment. With Skarrix, those were sometimes the same thing. No prey species has ever dominated a Skarrix, she said slowly. Well, about that predator index thing, Marcus leaned forward conspiratorially. Humans aren't really prey. We're just patient. We spent 10,000 years turning wolves into pugs, turned wildcats into internet celebrities, and convinced birds of prey to hang out on our arms for fun. We don't hunt like you do. We hunt by making everything else want to be our friend, then benefiting from the relationship. It's actually way more efficient. That is horrifying, Tanara whispered beside me. That is brilliant, I corrected. The matriarch studied Marcus for a long moment. My spawn is content. Super content. Well-fed, entertained, learning new skills. I've been teaching him problem-solving games. Yesterday he figured out how to open storage containers without breaking them. Progress. Cliff churned proudly, tail wagging so hard it dented a bulkhead. You may keep him, the matriarch declared. For now, when he reaches maturity, he returns to the pack for trials. Until then, Terran Marcus, you are recognized as temporary pack member. This is unprecedented, also possibly insane. I'll take it, Marcus grinned. Thanks, Mama Cliff. We'll video call, right? Explain video call. Oh boy, you're gonna love technology. The Skarrix fleet disengaged, warping away with a final warning about proper feeding schedules and the importance of regular hunting practice. I slumped in my command chair, processing what just happened. Commander, Tanara said quietly, I'm updating the Terran Predator Index file. To what rating? She pulled up the classification system, scrolling past the traditional metrics of claws, fangs, and venom, added a new category. Social predation, adoption warfare, aggressive befriending. I'm marking them as do not engage without snacks and caution, she decided. Threat level unquantifiable. Down in Cargo Bay 7, Marcus was teaching Cliff to high-five. The Skarrix kept missing, his massive claws whistling past Marcus's hand, but neither seemed discouraged. Just two predators playing, one from tooth and claw, one from persistence and pattern recognition. The galaxy thought humans were soft, weak, prey. The galaxy was wrong. Humans didn't conquer through strength. They conquered through friendship, and that was somehow more terrifying. They'd look at a killing machine and see a potential pet. Face down apex predators with nothing but confidence and snacks. Roar louder than creatures built for roaring, not through volume but through sheer unshakable conviction that they belonged at the top. And somehow, impossibly, the universe kept agreeing with them. I updated my own log with a final note. If humans ever petition for military alliance, accept immediately. Not because they're strong, because they'll make friends with our enemies, and that's a weapon no one can defend against. Marcus Webb, maintenance technician, and apparently Skarrix whisperer, had just redefined first contact protocols, all because he refused to accept that scary things should stay scary. The predator cub roared in play. The human roared louder. And the galaxy would never be quite the same.